For all the best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to DiBella Entertainment and HD Net's Broadway Boxing. Presented by Mohegan Sun from the Grand Ballroom here at the Manhattan Center. Tonight's fights are promoted by DiBella Entertainment. They are sponsored by Turner Construction and HBO Sports. This bout is sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Ron Scott Stevens. Timekeeper at the bell for this bout is Kathy Paolillo. Counting the knockdown seconds is Wayne Kelly. Physicians at ringside, Osric King, Joseph Herrera, and Rick Weinstein. The three judges, Melvina Lathan, Dick Flaherty, and Tommy Kazmanik. And our referee tonight is Eddie Claudio. And now, 10 rounds of boxing in the junior welterweight division. In the blue corner, wearing red with white stripes, weighing in at 141 pounds, a pro record of 17 wins, only 1 loss, and 11 wins by way of knockout. He reigns from Landover, Maryland. He is Michael the Ninja Warrick. And in the red corner, wearing red and white, weighing in at 141 3/4 pounds, an identical record of 17 wins, 1 loss, and 11 wins by way of knockout. He's from the Bronx, New York. He is Jeffrey Resto.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds only. Let's go. 2 seconds. All right, Jeff, Mike, we went over the rules, okay? Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Let's touch them up. Let's have a clean fight. Good luck.
All right, 10 rounds from the junior welterweight division. Michael Warrick from the Washington, D.C. area, Landover, Maryland, right outside of D.C., and Jeffrey Resto from the Bronx. 2 17-1 fighters. What should we expect to see early on?
I expect the crowd to really help Jeffrey. He's back home. The roaring and support should help him mentally.
And Gus, another thing to look for, I think they'll feel each other out a little bit in the first round. Resto, 9-month layoff. Warrick, 13-month layoff. Add that to the fact that neither guy has seen the other on tape. So there might be a little extended feeling out process, although Resto is usually aggressive from the start.
Resto, 5'11", 27 years old. Warrick, 5'7", and he is 31 years old, so Resto clearly with the height and reach advantage. Mike Warrick certainly has a ton of hand speed. Coming off one of his best career wins with his last fight, a 10-round decision against Emmanuel Augustus, formerly Emmanuel Burton. But that, as you mentioned, Steve, 13 months ago.
Well, that's what promotional and managerial difficulties will do for you. Warrick made a name for himself with that win and then just totally negated all the positives by laying out for more than a year. So he's really starting over, and a win over Resto, who's equally 17-1, will put him back as one of the better, I can't call him young, he's 31, but one of the better up-and-coming junior welters in the division.
Warrick trains at Fit to Fight Boxing Gym in Oxford Hill, Maryland, run by Bernard Roach. Who also trains Chop Chop Corley. There's a left hook getting in by Resto to the body.
Well, speaking with Mark Two Shop Johnson, Michael's manager before the bout, the plan is to push Jeffrey. Push him, make him fight every round. And they feel he'll crack in the later rounds, mentally.
So, Brian, they feel that loss Resto suffered showed maybe a deficiency in terms of a psychological deficiency. Maybe he doesn't have the toughest will. Is that what they're suggesting?
Exactly, Steve. That's exactly what they tell me. But, I mean, we'll see. I don't believe that Jeffrey is a quitter, but we'll see what happens.
Well, one thing for sure, guys, there's a lot of pressure on Jeffrey Resto because when you surrender in a fight as he did, people talk, people whisper that he doesn't have heart. There was nothing to suggest he didn't have heart prior to that loss. Now he's starting all over again.
He looks comfortable and relaxed. Doesn't look like that loss really bothered him.
Both fighters exchanging punches in the center of the ring and missing. But Resto has to use his size and reach advantage by establishing that jab. As you mentioned, he does look poised and confident with Warrick backing up. The end of round number 1. Who did you like in round 1?
That was a very close round. I didn't think Resto was particularly effective. I gave it to Warrick.
Round 2, scheduled for 10 in the junior welterweight division. Jeffrey Resto, the lighter-skinned fighter, against Michael Warrick, the darker-skinned fighter. Both fighters in red and white trunks as you take a look at the punch stats.
Yeah, and that does illustrate that it was a very close round, only one punch difference in connect. Warrick looking to counter with the right hand. Resto, his corner wants him to box more. He's trying to box more. He just hasn't been effective from long range.
Jeffrey Resto, ranked number 5 in the NABF, number 10 in the USBA at 140 pounds. He's a 1996 New York Golden Gloves champion in the open division at 147. There's a sharp left hook connected by Warrick. And that breaks out a smile by Resto.
A bemused look from Resto. I'm not sure why. You can see why Warrick's difficult to fight. You know, Emmanuel Burton has all those losses, but he's one of the better bad record fighters in boxing. Warrick beat him. Warrick frustrated him by moving a lot more than he's moving against Resto. Different fight, different opponent, different strategy.
Oh, and Resto's hurt. A right hand sends him down. A can opener right on the chin by Warrick sends Resto to the canvas, and he's going to have to hold on with plenty of time to go here in the second round. That overhand right got him. Resto in trouble. This could be the end of a career. Jeffrey Resto in all kinds of trouble.
Well, Gus, 3 things Resto can do. Hold, move, or punch back. Right now he's just covering up on the ropes. That's not a good strategy.
Not answering back. Body shots by Warrick. Resto trying to move. Now he ties him up wisely. They feel that Michael Warrick has star potential. There have been some great welterweights and junior welterweights out of the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. Simon Brown, Sugar Ray Leonard, Chavez Mitchell. But now Resto fighting off the ropes. Let's see if he does have heart. He could have quit right there.
He could have. He kept adjusting his trunks as if he had been hurt to the body.
He is rubber-legged right now with 30 seconds to go. Resto wedged in the corner, trying to get out of the second round.
And smart moves by Warrick, working the body, taking his time.
Oh, that right hand is sharp again by Warrick. Now Resto comes back by going to the body. Resto trying to clear his head. Lead right hand. And that's the end of the second round, which belongs to Warrick.
What can trainer George Cosme be telling Jeffrey Resto at this point? It's got to be instinct now and heart to get him through it.
Okay.
So Jeffrey Resto's heart was questioned after deciding to quit in his last fight. His only loss, and we will definitely see if he has the heart after being knocked down in the second round by that man, Michael Warrick.
And boy, did that right hand come out of nowhere or what?
That's what they call the can opener in boxing. Now Warrick wants to jump on it quickly as we look at the punch stats.
Warrick busier and 26-12. You know, those numbers tell you Warrick dominated the round, but the right hand that knocked him down, that was the only punch that really mattered. 2-point round for Warrick. I got him up 3 points, Gus.
And our Brian Adams Adams is working the crowd tonight, talking to some of the major celebrities in attendance, and he's standing by with a pretty good football player right now, Tiki Barber, from the New York Giants. Brian.
Man, Tiki Barber, running back from the Giants. What's up, man?
Not a whole lot, man. Just trying to enjoy the action down here.
You're enjoying it? You came down to see anything particular, you just in the neighborhood?
Last year I worked out with John Davenport, who has a kid who just fought Hino, who just won. I think he's 5-0 now. And so it's just an opportunity to get out and see some of this pure, raw, physical sports action down here. So it's pretty cool.
All right, Tiki, enjoy the action, man. We look forward to the Giants doing their thing this year.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, Brian. Jeffrey Resto trying to come on now.
Well, this is the Jeffrey Resto we know that built up a record of 17-0, being aggressive, throwing a lot of punches.
There's a short right hand getting in, and Resto gets 2 right hands to land on the chin of Mike Warrick.
Resto's shown me a lot, because when he went down in the second round, you know he had flashbacks to that loss 9 months ago. He could have gone one of 2 ways. He could have quit and doubted himself, or he could have fought on. Right now, he's taking the fight to Warrick. He's showing all the heart that some people question.
Warrick, though, very patient. He's inviting Resto into the party right now. Watch that right overhand from Mike Warrick, that overhand right, rather. It's been effective, knocking down Resto in the second.
And you wonder, Gus, if Resto is a little hesitant to throw his jab when he comes forward because of that right hand. Because Warrick's countered with the right over the top. And that might be why Resto's jabbing very, very sparingly in this round.
Third round scheduled for 10 between Mike Warrick, the African-American fighter, and Jeffrey Resto, the Latino fighter.
Jeffrey Resto, half Mexican, half Puerto Rican. If he could take a little bit of that Mexican and a little bit of that Puerto Rican, in terms of boxers, boy, wouldn't he be a superstar?
Coming to the end of round 3. A better round for Jeffrey Resto. Fourth round scheduled for 10 in the junior welterweight division between Mike Warrick, the African-American fighter, and Jeffrey Resto, the Latino fighter. Both fighters in red and white.
Resto far busier in that third round than a 9-to-5 edge of power shots, and there's another power shot.
And left hook staggers Mike Warrick.
This is the last time. If I see you hold it down, we take a point.
Mike Warrick staggered.
Could be a key moment. Referee Eddie Claudio telling Warrick, you hold one more time, I'm going to take a point. When referees back themselves into corners like that, they're almost forced to penalize a fighter, and that would seem a little premature to me, because Warrick's only been holding when hurt, and it hasn't been incessant. So we'll see if he does take a point away.
Resto's confidence is growing after being knocked down in the second round. Warrick now doubling up his jab, landing. After being knocked down, it almost makes Jeffrey Resto throw caution to the wind. His career is on the line right here. At 17-1, his heart has been questioned after his last fight, a fight in which he quit after he said he was thumbed in the eye. Young man from the Bronx. There's Resto coming in aggressively now. And Mike Warrick says he was hit low.
You okay? You need time?
Now Michael Warrick wants time.
Low blow. All right, next time we're going to force you. You okay? Get over here. Keep it up.
Well, that's why the fighter is supposed to go to the neutral corner, Gus, and Warrick went to his own corner where he received a little coaching from his trainer, Bernard Roach.
Let's go. Back up, back up.
Our Brian Adams is standing by with one of the great fighters in the world, Mark Too Sharp Johnson.
Hey, Mark, knows you here in New York. You manage Mike Warrick. How's he doing? He had a knockdown early on, but he allowed Jeffrey back in the fight. Talk to me.
I think Mike can beat this kid. I think Mike is too strong for him. Mike is letting him get in a rhythm. If Mike keep him out of his rhythm and go ahead and fight, it'll be an easy fight for him. But this guy has been picking up. He got hurt, and he's coming back. It's a great fight.
Okay, what should he be doing right now? Look like he's laying in front of Jeffrey too much.
I think Mike need to go ahead and just fight. You know, make Jeff back up. He's fighting a taller guy. He's a smaller fighter, so you want to try to get inside and make this guy work. Take the range from him.
Okay, obviously you have an interest vested here. Back to Gus and Steve at ringside.
All right, Brian. Some very good words, though, coming from Mark Too Sharp Johnson.
Well, he wants his fighter to be aggressive, the shorter guy. Right now, Resto's the one being aggressive.
Resto, very aggressive. 13 seconds to go in the round.
Let's go.
Scheduled for 10. There's a big right hand at the end of the fourth. Resto in trouble as they fight after the bell. Fourth round, Warrick putting his punches together. Round number 5, scheduled for 10 out of the junior welterweight division. These are 140-pounders. Jeffrey Resto, the Latino fighter, against Michael Warrick, the African-American fighter from Landover, Maryland, the D.C. area. Resto from the Bronx, both 17-1, both with 11 knockouts.
Gus, Warrick clearly landed a left hook on the break command of Eddie Claudio. Question is, can the fighters hear the referee?
And Resto hit behind the head. Now a left hook by Warrick. Resto pinned in the corner. Warrick. Now Resto really letting his hands go.
Let's go.
You think Warrick has the advantage when you're inside like that, but that's Resto's fight. He loves, for a tall fighter, he loves to fight on the inside.
You're right, Jeffrey is an excellent inside fighter, but Warrick hurt him a few times, so maybe he should establish the outside fight before he goes inside.
Michael Warrick knocked Jeffrey Resto down, and now a point's being taken away from Warrick. That is a terrible decision by referee Eddie Claudio.
And that's what I said before. He backed himself into a corner by telling Warrick the next time you hold. Oh, there's a left-handed
Now a point should be taken away for a low blow.
That was definitely a low blow.
If he's going to call it equally. And he is calling it equally. So there you go.
Low blow. How you feel? You okay? Get over
In
there.
a fight like this, points are important.
Come here. Let's stop the bullshit. We're professionals. Let's fight like professionals. Let's go. Time in. Pop.
Eddie Claudio taking control in the ring. Here's Resto.
Wait, let him go. Let's go.
Trying to remain aggressive. He was knocked down in the second round. He's got his friends and family here supporting him. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the round. Both fighters winging. 1 minute left in the 5th.
The way this fight is going, I don't think it's going to be a decision.
This is great action, I'll tell you.
Both guys are determined. It doesn't look like Jeffrey's going to have a hard career.
And the twin point deductions, that's a real rarity.
Oh, a left hook by Warrick. Backs up Resto in a right hand. Resto still fighting. Wedged in the corner. 35 seconds to go in the 5th. Michael Warrick, the young man from Landover, Maryland, has come to fight the Big Apple. He's got 7 kids.
Bring it up.
10 seconds. 9 seconds. 8 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. What a round.
Let's go. Stay in your corner. Stay in your corner, Jeff. Mike, let's go.
Round 6 scheduled for 10. Jeffrey Resto versus Michael Warrick, two 17-1 fighters. We talked about Warrick being from DC with 7 kids, and he's fighting hungry, but Resto really delivering a nice right hand after catching the jab of Warrick.
Now, I'll tell you, Gus, if Resto keeps hitting Warrick low, it's going to be 7 kids and out, no more.
The one thing I notice about Warrick, he has excellent concentration on the inside. He doesn't blink. He doesn't close his eyes. He sees everything Jeffrey throws on the inside. Excellent concentration.
Now some blood trickling from the nose of Michael Warrick. There's a great right hand by Resto, followed by a left hook. Resto has him in trouble. Warrick on fumes. Resto has him right here. That's the best punch of the night by the young man from the Bronx. Resto, another right hand. Uppercut, right hook. Resto letting his hands fly. They said this kid didn't have any heart. He's got all kinds of heart. Resto, can he finish it?
Resto shouldn't neglect the body now. He's going for the knockout. Warrick's been hurt to the body. Resto should go back there.
Warrick's in trouble. 1:30 left in the round.
Jeffrey just overwhelming him with power punches right now. That right hand cannot miss.
Double hook to the body for Resto. Now he backs up. Here comes Warrick now. Gets hit with an uppercut coming in by Resto. And a left hook. A sharp right hand. Resto, this kid's got all kinds of heart.
I think he made a statement tonight, guys.
No doubt he was dropped in the second round by Michael Warrick. A minute left.
No quitting him. You know, as a boxer, things happen in there that people question. But I mean, it's your health. Jeffrey figured his health was in danger. He got out of the fight. It doesn't mean he's a quitter.
He's no quitter. What he has to prove right now is that he's a winner. This round, the 6 rounds, all Jeffrey Resto, but it's a pretty close fight. And don't forget, he was down.
Resto continues to look at the ref as if he was hit low. That's a good body shot right on the belt line. But a left hook by Resto. Here comes Warrick fighting his way in. Resto is giving him a receipt as he comes. As another up jab and right hand. Warrick in trouble now. Warrick on the ropes. Resto unloaded. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8, 7. Warrick not answering. He's got to hold on. Hey, this is Broadway boxing. We've got unbelievable atmosphere here at the legendary Grand Ballroom at Manhattan Center. Jeffrey Resto, Michael Warrick, two 17-1 fighters are putting it all on the line tonight.
98 punches from Resto in round 6. That's the Jeffrey Resto that made himself one of the better young junior welterweights in the world.
Resto doing a great job putting combinations together.
But that's the inside fighting we spoke about. He's very schooled on the inside for a lengthy, tall fighter.
There's a great right hand by Warrick. And Resto takes it without batting an eyelash. And then Warrick assaults the body with a right hand and a left hook.
This is a great matchup.
No doubt. Two young, hungry, up-and-coming fighters.
And they should show a lot, because in this division, when you got young fighters like Paulie Malignaggi and Panchito Bojado and Miguel Cotto and many others, you better do something special to be noticed, because that's the best division in boxing.
That lead left hook has been landing all night for Resto, followed by the right hand. And Warrick backing up again. Warrick hasn't been fighting as well when he's retreating, but when he's putting pressure on Resto, he's had his way with him.
Right, when you have Jeffrey backing up and he's throwing punches, it's like Jeffrey is confused. As long as Jeffrey's moving forward, landing that lead hook and his sharp right hands, he's fine.
Now Warrick gathers himself, using the up jab.
The sad thing about this fight, the loser, his career isn't going to go anywhere. When both these guys are excellent prospects.
1:11 remaining in the 7th round. Resto hungry now after being knocked down in the second round by Michael Warrick.
Warrick looks a little fatigued.
Brian, you think that 13-month layoff could be affecting Warrick at this point?
It had an effect, and also the fact that they thought Jeffrey was going to wither under pressure, and Jeffrey didn't. He stood up and fought back. So that had a lot to do with it. When you train in the gym, you think a guy's going to fold with your pressure and your strength, and it don't happen.
How do you have it scored so far?
I have it 3-3 in rounds, but Warrick ahead by a point because of the knockdown.
25 seconds remaining. In round number 7, scheduled for 10.
Let's go. Come on.
Well, Jeffrey is moving his hands this round. He's just a busier fighter.
And Warrick kind of catching his breath for the finish. As Resto lands a right hand at the end of the 7th.
Let's do this right, okay? Let's do this
All right, 8 rounds. This is the 8th, scheduled for 10 as we take a look at the total punches.
Close fight. Resto's been busier by 100 shots. But don't forget, Warrick scored a knockdown, and Warrick came out this round real hard.
There's a body shot that Bernard Roach wants from Warrick. He's going forward in this round. Resto, those body shots have taken their toll on him. There's a lead left hook to the body that drops him. The lead left hook to the body drops Jeffrey Resto, and that's the 2nd time he's been knocked down this evening.
Wow.
Bernard Roach has been screaming for Warrick to throw shots to the body.
And Gus, I was about to say that I didn't think Warrick had it in him to finish this fight strongly. His body language just suggested he was done, and boy, was his body language wrong.
Resto is in all kinds of trouble. 1 minute and 56 left. There's another left hook to the body. Resto, a right hook to the body by Warrick. Resto just pinned on the ropes. There's another left hook.
Well, Warrick's being smart, punching only to the body.
And Resto is just trying to hold on with 1 minute and 30 to go.
Your hands are free.
Warrick looking for any crevice to finish Jeffrey Resto. Here in the 8th round.
Just not Resto's style to hold, but this might be a good idea to buy some time and just clinch. He's too macho. Warrick's resting, but you know there's going to be one more salvo coming of body shots. Resto's got to keep those elbows tough, Gus.
He's keeping that right hand all the way down at his knee. Well-schooled Jeffrey Resto resting on the ropes, and he lands a left hook. Another left hook, another left hook, triple left hook followed by a right uppercut by Jeffrey Resto. And he is fighting off these ropes. There's a left hook, blocked though by Resto. Another left hook. Warrick scoring now.
Fascinating fight, Gus, because at different times during the fight, Warrick's been more effective on the outside, more effective on the inside. At other times, Resto more effective on the outside, more effective on the inside. It's really been give and take, changes
Stiff
in
right
momentum.
hand by Warrick. What a fight here at the Manhattan Center in New York City.
Let's go.
Championship rounds, they call these.
Watch your head.
Rounds 9 and 10 on the way. This is the 9th round. How do you have it scored?
I have Warrick ahead by 2 points based on the 2 knockdowns he scored. I have it 4-4 in round.
And right now, Brian Adams is with our Lou DiBella.
Hey, Lou, this is billed as Jeffrey's comeback fight, redemption type fight. He's in a bit of a trouble. Tell me what's going on.
I don't know. It's very close right now. He's been dropped twice. I think he's won more rounds. I think it's close on points, but win, lose, or draw, I think he's answered questions about his heart, you know? And this is Broadway boxing. This is what it's supposed to be. You want to see good fights, come here. You know, it's not supposed to be guys showing up to get victories against guys that can't stand up. It's supposed to be competitive boxing. That's what you're getting. I want to go back and watch the fights.
All right, Lou. After you guys are losing.
All right, Brian, Resto clearly hurt. He continues to rest on the ropes. Blood coming all out of the mouth of Michael Warrick. And when he decided to follow the instructions of his corner, going to the body and turn this fight around in the 8th round, when he dropped Jeffrey Resto for the second time, the second round of the 8th.
And in that 8th round, 47 combined connects by the two guys, not one jab between them.
A minute 27 to go.
Every round critical now. There's only 2 left. And Resto needs them because of those knockdowns.
Both fighters exhausted. And remember, there's another left hook blocked though by Resto as he tries to answer with the counter uppercut.
Come on. Let's go.
Well, this is the way the guys told me he trained in D.C. Said he trained hard and he trained for a fight.
This has been a slugfest. Warrick looks like the stronger fighter here in the 8th.
The only things outside the plan, Jeffrey hasn't quit yet.
There's another left hook, but it's blocked by the right elbow of Resto.
Go ahead.
Resto fighting off the ropes. Now Warrick pushes him backwards. Under 30 seconds to go in the 9th. Scheduled for 10. Junior welterweight division, 140 pounds. Michael Warrick doubles the hook as he finishes downstairs.
Low blow.
Let's go.
There's a right hand blocked by Resto. 5 seconds to go in the 9th. Two warriors really going at it here in New York City.
Let's go.
10th and final round between Michael Warrick, the African-American fighter, and Jeffrey Resto, the Latino fighter. Steve, how do you have it scored?
I have Warrick ahead. I think Resto needs a knockout to win, but I'm not going to argue that it's a close fight. First 2 rounds I gave Warrick. Those are the key rounds if you think Resto's ahead. But I think Warrick, with the 2 knockdowns, that's the difference in the fight.
What I noticed the past couple of rounds, Warrick has been able to back Jeff up and keep him right there against the rope.
Come on, hands are free.
As you take a look at the total punches.
Well, Resto outlanded Warrick slightly, but again, the knockdown's the key because that's a 10-8 round for Warrick in the 2nd and in the 8th.
Let's go. Right here. Break it up.
Warrick right now seems content to fight inside. Part of that might be fatigue. He can lean on his man more. And also he controls the pace better when he's on the inside because he can punch when he wants to punch and not get hit when he's not punching.
Resto looks exhausted. Warrick looks like he has a little more left in the tank. But wisely, he hasn't given Resto any space to use that jab in the last 3 rounds. The body shots have been so effective for Michael Warrick.
And what an effort by both guys. Warrick coming off a 13-month layoff, no tune-up, and he fights a 10-round fight at this pace against a determined Jeffrey Resto. Resto off the 9-month layoff after a fight where he could doubt himself, and he's shown plenty of confidence in himself and plenty of heart.
And look at the heart Resto's showing.
But both guys have motivation. In Warrick, you have 7 kids. In Resto, you have the last guy.
A minute remaining in the 10th round, the final round. And Michael Warrick continues to keep the pressure on Jeffrey Resto.
But Jeffrey stands straight up against the ropes. That's how he's able to get hit with body shots. He's standing straight up, no bend.
Trying to lift up with the uppercut and misses. Warrick very slick on the inside, not allowing Resto to get out of the corner.
34
seconds to go.
Let's go. Keep your head up, man.
Straight right hand landing for Warrick. 20 seconds. Lead left hook. Landing for Resto. Warrick is in trouble. Holy Toledo. Warrick's got to hold on. Can Resto finish it? Oh, a left hand, a right hand. They are leaving it all. And that's the end of this junior welterweight bout. What a bout here in New York.
Good ball, Mike.
Holy man.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. But before we do that, let's give a rousing round of applause to two warriors, Michael Warrick and Jeffrey Resto. But only one walks out a victor tonight. Judge Lathan scores the bout 94-92. Judge Flaherty scores the fight 94-92. And Judge Kazmarek, like the others, scored the fight 94-92. The winner by unanimous decision, he is Michael the Ninja Warrick.
A fair decision here in New York. Michael Warrick, the more aggressive fighter in the early rounds and the late rounds, knocking down Jeffrey Resto twice. And Michael Warrick resurrects his career after a 13-month layoff with a unanimous decision over hometown favorite Jeffrey Resto from the Bronx. And Brian, I thought that was a very accurate decision.
I agree. I scored it a draw.